is the same as number of pistons. 1, 2, this 1, 2, 3, 4. What about number of stage? You want to guess? So the picture on the right hand side, if you look at it, the left throw is kind of bigger than the right hand side, right? Is that because of the picture just tilt, or is it really bigger? It's really bigger. Okay, this one really bigger than that. So each throw doesn't have to have the same size. The left one is bigger than the right one. Left is bigger than the right one. And look at this one that we have 4 cylinder or 4 throw. So the right hand side is larger than the one on the left, correct? So the difference in size have to do with number of stage. Okay. So if you have two sides, bigger one and smaller one, so this one is 2 stage. Each stage have 2 throws. Okay. When I say 2 stage, the first stage will be have larger volume than the second stage, right? So you compress high volume gas to lower volume gas, and then this mass go to the second stage and you compress it again, and then it move on. So you have continuous mass flow, but volume just keep going down and going down. So you compress it. Okay. So when you do it in practice, the first stage has larger chamber, okay, than the second stage. So the second stage has smaller chamber. And we have to clarify, okay, for reciprocating compressor, number of throw, number of stage, and acting, they're not the same, okay? Let's take a look at number of throw. We can have 2 stage 4 throw compressor. Look at this one. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4 throw, right? But it's have just 2 stage. We compress from pressure 1 to pressure 2 in the first stage, and from pressure 2 to pressure 3 in the second stage. Okay. So number of throw and number of stage, they doesn't need to match. Single acting, this means compression occur only once per crankshaft revolution. So double acting, compression occur twice per crankshaft revolution. Okay, that's double acting. I put here flat plane crankshaft is this red thing is crankshaft. Piston is the gray part moving here, and cylinder is this blue. Flywheel is this black thing. When you want to get the brake horsepower, we get it from this flywheel. Okay, so one revolution, this turn one time, we push one time. When we push, so one revolution you push and pull, right? Do we compress one time or we compress twice? Is it single acting, double acting? Difficult to tell. You may not be able to tell. Look at this one. You remember the video? Is this single acting or double acting? Look at this part. So you compress either way, right? Red means higher pressure, blue means lower pressure. So when you push forward, this chamber on the right hand side becomes red. So you compress that side. When you pull backward, another chamber becomes red. So for one revolution, you compress either way. So this kind of thing is double acting, okay, not single acting. Single acting means whenever we push, then we compress. So either we push or pull, we compress both times. So this kind of compressor is double acting, and you have valve on both sides. Okay. So now you know the difference between number of throw and number of acting. Obi, what's his name next to you? What is his name? James, can you tell me the difference between number of acting and number of stage? Are they the same?
No.
So what are those?
Stages is how many times you're going to compress it, and then the acting is how many times you compress in one revolution.
Oh, acting is number of times that we compress it per revolution. Stage means how many steps of pressure that we will have, right? If we go from 100 to 300, that's one stage. Next stage will be from 3 to 900. So that compression ratio of 3 and have 2 stages. See that? So after each stage, we have to cool it somewhere. Okay? And we use air to cool it. See this one in the back? That is, you have seen this in all units at CSI, right? The back part is the aerial cooler. So after each stage, we have to cool it. After we cool it, we scrub any liquid that condense, and then it goes to the next stage. Okay, so the back part is to cool that gas. Look at this one. You see this throw is kind of big, and the second one is smaller. So this one has to be first stage, and that is kind of second stage. Provided that left hand side and right hand side they're the same. Okay, I cannot see another side. And this tall cylinder is a scrubber. You have seen this, right? So now you know that if there are multiple stages, the size of the throw for receipt has to be different. Okay, so if you see the size is the same, so it may be just single stage but many throw. Okay, and when you see from outside, you may suspect that okay, we have double acting for this one, but you cannot really tell until you read the manual or actually ask them, is this double acting or single acting? And you know the difference, right? Compress twice per one crankshaft revolution, that's double acting. Let's take a look at something else. High speed and low speed. Whatever it is, it's very high speed. Okay? We push, we compress very quick. But what is the high speed and low speed in this sense? High speed is 900 to 1200 RPM. That's high speed. Low speed is 200 to 600 RPM. Okay? So high speed, normally it is separable. What is separable? You see the picture. Compressor frame and driver are separated by a coupling or gearbox. So compressor frame and driver, they're separate. The one that you see in this video is a separable. Okay. So when it looks like this, it is separable. So it's on different frame, right? Integrated one. For low speed, typically it's an integral unit. For the integral unit, power cylinder, compressor, cylinder are mounted on the same frame. What is that mount on the same frame? Let's take a look at the picture. Integral unit or integral engine compressor. Everything is on the same frame. You see, you cannot separate them from each other. So that is low speed. Everything is integrated into one unit. So we have integral engine compressor. So we don't have throw like this anymore. Everything is combined. It's on the same frame. So you have the engine part, that kind of V shape. That's the engine part, and this part is the compressor piston. Right? It is on single unit. And this one looks very big. You see, size of a person does that. So everything is you have many throw on just one frame, and the engine is on the top. Okay. So everything integrated together. Look at this one, integral engine compressor. So that part is the engine, power cylinder. So that's engine, and this is compressor cylinder on the side, and everything all together in one unit. That's what I mean when I say integral unit. Okay. Separable, that one. Okay, that's separable unit. Separable, we can put it on the skid. That's a separable unit. Put it on skid. It is kind of smaller than the integral unit. Okay. High speed or separable unit is have from 50 to 3000 horsepower. We can have 2, 4, or 6 compressor cylinder are common. Why don't we just do one? Maybe that's because it's not quite balanced, right? If you have both sides, that's make it balance better, more efficient. So for high speed, we can skid mount everything on one skid. Self-contained for easy installation and easily moved. When we say easily moved, it costs quite a lot, okay? Think about the truck that can put this thing on, has to be huge. But we can move it around, okay? That's a separable unit that is on one skid. Easily piped for multi-stage compression, size suitable for fuel gathering offshore and onshore, okay? It looks like that. It has disadvantages, okay? High-speed engine are not as fuel efficient as integral unit. That's one of the disadvantages. And we have 7,500 to 9,000 BTU per bhp, brake horsepower per hour. bhp is brake horsepower, the amount of external force that can be developed by the engine. So we need about 9,000 BTU per hour per horsepower. Okay, but for integral unit, it will be more efficient. It has medium range of compressor efficiency, higher than centrifugal but lower than the low speed. So medium range of compressor efficiency. So the efficiency is somewhat more than centrifugal part. It has short life compared to low speed. Okay, high maintenance cost than low speed or centrifugal one. So high maintenance cost. When you buy it, you expect to repair it too. Integral unit, just like that. So it needs fuel directed. It's very large. Okay, it's very large. Compressor cylinder are shipped separately, and we put it together in the field. Much more expensive because it's a lot bigger, right? And then either high speed or centrifugal. Can also be skid for small horsepower. So can be skid mount like that, but everything integrated on one frame. It's extensively used in small oil field or flash gas lift compressor service. Okay. This have a power cylinder and compressor cylinder are both mounted horizontally. So if we decide to have skid mount, cost and weight are much higher than similar size high-speed separable unit. So this one is expensive, but it is still cheaper than this. Good? Don't sleep yet, don't sleep yet. Just look at the picture, it's just that easy, okay? Which one is more expensive, and then you know which one is more expensive. I don't have quiz today, so that's why you're kind of sleepy. I'll bring next time. So it has less maintenance, it has greater fuel efficiency. Okay. James?
Yes, sir.
James, who just, okay, behind you, Marcos, right? And behind you is who?
Michael.
Michael? Next to you is who?
Kyle. Kyle.
Kyle. Who else is Kyle? Kyle. So what was your last name, Kyle?
Polka.
Hold it. Stay away, please. Okay, Kyle. Low speed reciprocating compressor. We have, for the size, you have 1 and 2 power cylinder fuel gas compressor. We can have about 140 to 360 horsepower. So that's for low speed. It have numerous size from 2,000 to 4,000. It's large, 2,000 horsepower increment to 12,000. So it can be very big. Look at this one, low speed is 12,000, right? For high speed, we just have 3,000 horsepower. If we want to go a lot more horsepower than 3,000, we may need to do low speed. So it's used for in a gas plant that you see. You will go to oxy field trip and you will see several of that. Okay, it's in a big kind of room, and it's for, you can use it for gathering line very high pressure system in the gas plant. And we have so we can have 2 to 10 compressor cylinder are common. As you see in the picture, right? You have many of them put for this engine, and you have many engines all lined together, integrated together. Advantage: high fuel efficiency, 6 to 8,000 BTU per hour per horsepower. So 6 to 8,000. The previous one is 7,500 to 9,000. So you need more BTU per hour to get the same amount of horsepower for high speed. For lower speed, you need just less BTU per hour of fuel, okay, to get the same amount of horsepower. So high efficiency compression over a wide range of conditions have long operating life, okay, low maintenance cost, low operation cost, but it's a lot more expensive, okay. Disadvantage: usually must be field erect, except for very small size, require heavy foundation, high installation cost, slow speed, require high degree of vibration and pulsation suppression. So you have seen the difference between straight lobe or screw compressor, right? When we have screw compressor, gas coming out continuously. It keeps coming out continuously, right? But okay, look at this supercharger. Gas coming out continuously, going in continuously. But if we have a piston or receive unit, we compress, it come out. We push back, it come out. Push forward, it come out. So it come out as a pulse, not constant. Okay. If you have a lot coming out as a pulse, it will check, right? It will check something, and you don't want to check it. So that's why for low speed, you need one of the command is we need more heavy foundation to not have it checking, and you may install something else, okay, to suppress this pulsation of the gas. You don't want gas that go into the pipeline to be like this, right? It can make something check. Okay, look at Vane-Type. Okay. Okay, you okay? Is this positive displacement or centrifugal type? Positive displacement. Okay, very good. So this is a Vane-Type rotary compressor. It is in high bond. Have you played with it? Did you play with it? Did you take a look at it? Did you, Matt, trailer? Did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you play with it?
I didn't play with it.
Did you rotate it?
No, I watched someone else play with it, but
Who played with it?
I think it was a high level engineer.
Did anyone touch it? Really? Not at all? So I asked you about this because if you actually touch it, you know how it works. There's a vane. So this is like a sliding vane, okay? This thing can move in and out readily. It moves in and out. And it's eccentric. You see this part? It's not at the center. The center is not at the center. It's an eccentric arrangement. So this vane go in and out, go in and out. So we have gas inlet over here, right? So we have gas inlet. So this chamber is high volume. High volume. This part is high volume. When this motor rotates, So the sliding vane will automatically move inside. It slides inside a little bit. So this makes the volume become smaller. Look at this volume. This volume, number 2, is smaller than number 1, right? So the vane slide as we rotate. Okay, it's moving in sometimes, and when we move back, it's coming out. So this make, and there has to be something to seal it, so it is airtight. There's no leak. So we go from high volume to lower volume. So this type of sliding vane push same amount of mass forward continuously. If we ever close the valve, it will break something. Okay. So it's a positive displacement time. So the operation is similar to vane pump. Vane pump look the same way. It has something that slides in and out. We don't use centrifugal force or energy from spinning to increase the pressure. We don't do that. We just compress it mechanically. Okay. So vane go in and out. More vane make less pressure drop. Oil is injected to lubricate the vane. So oil, we need some oil, so that is airtight. Oil is captured later in discharge or in the scrubber to recycle. Okay, this is sliding vane. The comment on this one is it's limited to low pressure service, less than 100 to 200 psi. Okay, discharge pressure. We use in VIU and vacuum pump. It can do vacuum of 27 inch of mercury or about 30 inch of mercury in 2 stage. So vane pump or vane compressor can do vacuum. Memorize it yet? Vane compressor do vacuum. Okay. The size can be 125 or less. We have as big as 500 horsepower. How do we know which horsepower we need? We have to do some calculation. Remember the equation that is given in the exam? It is on the first 3 pages. Okay? So that's a vane compressor. The comment is it's good in vacuum service, and it doesn't have pulsating flow. We don't use reciprocating action, push back and forth, right? So it comes continuously. Less space, inexpensive for low horsepower vapor recovery unit. So disadvantage. It must have clean air or gas. Take about 5 to 20% more horsepower than receive unit. So reciprocating compressor is better. Use 10 times of oil of reciprocating compressor to seal it. So it use more oil. We have to seal the gap over here, right? To make it airtight. And usually install aftercooler and separator to recycle the oil. We have to recycle the oil. Screw type compressor or helical-Lobe. Is this okay? Coil in the back.
Yes.
Is this positive displacement or centrifugal type?
That would be positive displacement.
Positive displacement. Okay. It is positive displacement. So we directly push that volume, okay, forward. Don't use the centrifugal energy to increase the pressure. It has 2 helical rotor, okay, rotating, can be used as oil-free, but normally we need oil to do the seal. So some case in the low pressure air service, it doesn't have any oil, okay. Can handle moderate amount of liquid. Can handle dirty gas because there is no metallic contact. You see the difference? Previous one, the Vane-Type, there's a metallic contact. So if your gas happen to be dirty, any small particle go in here will scratch with the chamber, right? Cause wear. Okay? But this screw compressor doesn't have metallic contact. So any fine particle go in there will just stay as go into the liquid phase and become the seal. Okay, so it doesn't. So this screw compressor doesn't have a metallic contact. Okay, So it can handle a little bit dirty, moderate amount of liquid or a little bit dirty gas. Okay. And it look like that. You can have, this is a rating up to 6,000 horsepower for 400 horsepower for hydrocarbon service. Discharge pressure up to that. Most of the screw compressor that you have seen, did you see any screw compressor in high bond? Yes? Okay. Tyler, Gooch. Many compressor, many VIU at high bond, they are screw compressor, true or false? True. You have seen that. Many of them are screw compressor. Okay. Advantage. Most of the time you need lubricant, but it can be non-lubricant for air service. In high bond, you need lubricant. Okay. Can handle dirty gas, no pulsating flow. Why don't we have any pulsating flow, Tyler? Tyler, good.
So I don't know.
What is pulsating flow?
Oh, it keeps going constantly through it, so there's
Pulse, right? Make a pulse. So this kind of compressor, why don't we have pulse?
it's always pushing more through it.
For recipient, we always pushing it, but we push it as a constant quantity out, right? It's kind of discrete amount out every time. But this thing is like continuously flow, infinitesimal amount, just go always continuously. There's no like a certain amount go in and out. So because we push it continuously, then we don't have any pulse. The only thing that have pulse is the receive unit. Push back and forth, and the known amount coming out every like couple seconds or millisecond is coming out. So that create a pulse. We have seen this in high bond. Okay. So we connect it to the top to get the compressor in gas, and they don't like to. Okay. Brian Crowley. Hi Brian. In high bond, I think they don't like to turn off and turn compressor on, do they? So if I don't have gas, do they turn it off? And when I have gas, they turn it on. Do they do that? Yes or no? Ryan? Yes or no?
I want to say yes, they do that.
What's your name behind Victor? What's your name?
Seth.
Seth?
No, it's just more efficient the longer it runs, right?
Okay. They keep it running. Okay, they keep it running. So what do we do if there is not enough pressure? Anyone remember? What did you say, Victor? Recirculate gas. Yes. So they keep it running. If there is not enough gas, we take the gas that we produce or we compress back again and keep it rotating or recycling, keep it moving like that. If we don't do that, it will pull vacuum on the tank and tank will implode. Okay? So it has to recirculate. We don't turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. If we turn it off, turn it on every 15 minutes, let's say, we do it at 15 minutes, what happens? You use a lot of power and you have to repair it more frequent, okay, more wear on that, to restart, turn it off, turn it on. So better choice is to keep it hot and let it run all the time. Just recycle the gas. Everyone get this message during the field trip. Can you answer this? Right? Can you answer this in the exam? Of course, right? Okay, let's not put it in the exam. So this one, we have discharge pressure over 50 psig, take 10 to 20% more horsepower than receive unit. So it's not as power efficient as the receive unit, okay? Low tolerance in change in operating condition of temperature, pressure, and compression ratio. So we have to have it work at a set condition. VRU is just fine, right? We just set at low enough pressure and compress it to higher pressure. So the pressure, how much is the pressure fluctuation in the tank? Do you expect in from couple ons to 2 psi, right? Not like from 50 psi to 100 psi and go up, go down like that. This compressor doesn't like it. Centrifugal compressor, I have never seen any. Okay, do we use it in VRU? No. So the reason is do more volumetric flow rate, but less pressure increment. Okay, it starts at about 500 horsepower, and it can do. So this thing starts at 500 HP, and this screw compressor can be up to 400 horsepower. So it's for lower horsepower, right? Screw compressor for lower horsepower. For centrifugal horsepower is for more horsepower, like 20,000 horsepower. Okay, high horsepower per unit space and weight. So we have it. I haven't seen it in the oil field or anywhere. Okay, we have it in the jet engine. Turbine drive easily adapt with waste heat recovery for high fuel efficiency. So this one can have a skid mount, self-contained, low initial cost, but it's still more quite expensive. Okay, when we say low initial cost, it have high capacity. So what you want to memorize is more volume, but not much pressure. Okay, it doesn't increase much pressure. Okay, the comment from Mr. Bulat is we use it in offshore.
Dubai had two trains that were 12,500 horsepower each. And they were moving 125 million a day through each compressor.
Wow, okay.
Driven by.
So why do they use centrifugal compressor? Is that because it's more horsepower per space?
Lightweight.
Lightweight.
Weight to the premium on the offshore platform.
Oh, okay. So this is a big advantage then. High horsepower for unit of space and weight. Okay, so it have more horsepower for the same weight. And on the offshore platform, we don't want more weight. Right? Okay. Centrifugal compressor, high volume, low ratio. It have can do as a gas lift service offshore. Okay. Disadvantage is lower compressor efficiency, not for low volume, high compression ratio. So VRU, do we have a lot of volume in VRU? No, right? We just want to increase the pressure. Right? So it's limited flexibility and capacity. Turbine drive have higher fuel rate than reciprocating unit. Okay, need more fuel than receive unit. Large horsepower unit mean that outage has large effect on process or pipeline application. So turbines are low in fuel efficiency, so it's lower fuel efficiency, and we can use it sometimes for gas liquid process. So it produces more volume. Okay, calculation. You like this one? This one will not be in this exam, but should be in the next exam. Okay, specifying a compressor. So when we do compression ratio per stage, it should be less than 4 or less than 3 is good. So the formula is this one. Number of stage is PD over PS raised to the power of 1 over N. N is number of stage. You have seen this earlier, right? In last lecture. Brake horsepower, rough approximation. Brake horsepower 22 multiplied by compression ratio. This is per stage, okay? Multiplied by N, number of stage. Multiplied by F, and multiplied by QG. QG is a flow rate, MMSCFD. F is 1 or 1.08 and or 1.1 for single, 2, and 3 stage compression respectively. Okay. So if you have this single stage, use 1 for F. Okay. Put it in this equation, then we get rough approximation of brake horsepower. This is very good equation. You see how short and easy it is? You should like it. Okay, this one you should like it. Let's say you want to rate the compressor. Hey, how much should be my horsepower? You just tell, okay, what is the compression ratio? Most of the time you guess 3. You say, okay, compression ratio is 3. Put it in, how many stage? Okay, 2 stage, F 1.08, Q, okay, how many million standard cubic foot? Put it there, done. Easy, right? It is for rough approximation, okay? You use it anyway to find out the one that is more accurate is in the same order of magnitude with this or not. Graphical method. Okay, this one is, this graph tells you 2 things. We have brake horsepower per million cubic foot per day. So you have BHP P on the top part divided by MMSCFD per day. Okay, so D day is on the denominator. So this tells you how many million cubic foot per day. I think this is in one parenthesis. Million cubic foot per day. So if you know million cubic foot per day, if you know compression ratio, let's say overall compression ratio, per stage ratio should be less than 4, right? Less than 3 is good. About 3. That is per stage. But if you have compression ratio of 3 times, then the overall ratio will be what? Victor? 27. So we have compression ratio 3 times will be 27. So you go to 27, 25, 6, 7. So 27 go up. Okay. And we have 3 stages, right? So upper line is for K equal to 1.4, lower line is for K equal to 1.15. Chris, next to Victor, what is K?
The specific equation.
Okay. And then we move to, they are very close, okay? Dash line and another line, they're very close to each other. So we move to the left-hand side. Then we can read, okay, for that kind of overall compression ratio, we need this much horsepower per 1 million standard cubic foot per day. Okay? 200. So we read it from the chart. So this one, the input of this Q is on million standard MMSCFD. Okay? So this graph gives you BHP per MMSCFD. It is quite the same, but user graph give you more accuracy. Okay? So the bottom part is overall. Next thing that it can tell you is the temperature. What is the temperature after we do that? How much heat that we need to remove to cool the gas? Look at this one. I put this here. Also 1000 BTU per hour to cool gases back to original suction temperature. If your suction temperature is 150, use the top line. Okay. So let's say if you have a compression ratio per stage of 3, you have 3, right? Go up and then to the left. So you will need about 180 BTU per hour. Or you will have to remove about 180 BTU per hour to cool it back to the original state. A very handy graph. Use this. So what do we do with that 180? We used to decide the aerial cooler in the back, right? How big that this thing should be? The cooler in the back. So you have to size that based on how much heat is required to be removed. Right? Very good. Good luck for tomorrow. And it's to 12, 19, okay. Tomorrow we start at 5. You can come a little bit earlier. All of you will be in this room, 110. If you will have to be in other room, TA will email you which room that you should be. If he don't email you, you come in this room. When you come, you sit where you